Channel 11, in your corner at 6.
I was amazed. I don't really feel that I did anything extraordinary. We just had a job to do.
The officer receiving national recognition for life-saving actions that helped stop a gunman who went on a deadly shooting spree in Bristol 2 years ago is sharing his story for the first time. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond.
And I'm Josh Smith. His name is Sergeant Matt Cousins. He works with the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department, and he was just awarded the Officer of the Year award from the National Rifle Association. Sergeant Cousins was the second officer on scene July 7, 2016, when federal investigators said Lakeem Scott began an early morning shooting spree. A TBI report revealed had police not disarmed Scott, they think more lives could have been in danger. TBI revealed Scott had more than 400 rounds of ammunition and 2 guns and a military-style vest. Sergeant Cousins was among those who suffered a gunshot wound, but he didn't back down, showing courage under fire. Sergeant Cousins shared his story with Carissa Winstead, recalling vivid accounts from a day he says his department and his community will never forget.
Sergeant Cousins was one of the first officers to respond when Lakeem Scott opened fire on passing cars and the Days Inn on Volunteer Parkway. Cousins tells me he's honored to receive this recognition, but says he was just doing his job. July 7th, 2016.
We've been shot at and we came down the parkway.
Lakeem Scott goes on a shooting spree in Bristol, Tennessee. Sergeant Matt Cousins still remembers it like it was yesterday.
It was kind of a long day. I was planning on going home early, but the shift was really busy.
He says he was at the police station filling out paperwork when around 2:15 in the morning a call came out about shots fired.
Right about the corner of the sidewalk.
When he arrived on scene, he noticed rifle casings on the ground in the Days Inn parking lot.
It validated the reports of shots fired.
That's when he went to grab his rifle.
As I was retrieving my rifle out of my trunk, that's when I caught movement behind the O'Reilly's building and saw the suspect emerging behind us, trying to ambush us.
He says Scott had a rifle across his chest and a pistol in his hand. That's when he told him to drop his weapons.
He refused both commands to drop it, and by the time I got the second command out, he was starting to fire at me and I was returning fire.
2 other officers were on scene as well, all exchanging gunfire. A bullet ricocheted off the ground, hitting Cousins in the leg. After a few more exchanges of gunfire,
he gave up. He verbally said, "All right, I give up," and he was taken into custody.
Cousins was recognized nationally in Dallas, Texas as the NRA Law Enforcement Officer of the Year for his actions. He says coincidentally that's where 5 officers were killed on the line of duty on the same day as the Bristol shooting.
Even now it gives me cold chills just to think about it and to think of what those officers went through as well.
Cousins says at the end of the day he was just doing his job.
Any officer here would have done the same actions. I just happened to be in that situation and followed my training and my experience.
Cousins says he was nominated for the award by the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department, and a board of directors voted to determine who received this national recognition.
Carissa, thank you. Bristol Herald-Courier newspaper carrier Jennifer Rooney died that morning in the shooting on the Volunteer Parkway. Lakeem Scott is now serving life in prison for first-degree murder and 7 counts of attempted murder.